Welcome into the Better and Green experience. The boys are back today. We got Ethan, Wyatt, and me. I'm Ben. And today we're going to be going over our best bets as well as a revolutionary, never before seen fantasy football player grading system. We haven't really seen anything like that out there. There's some stuff that kind of says, okay, this guy's, let's say, 9.9 out of 10, saying he's really good. This is more of a system that's going to show you sleepers, busts, all that type of stuff. It's actually really, really cool. So we're going to be discussing that later on. But first, I want to know how you guys are doing. Wyatt, big moving day for you, man.
Yeah, big moving day. Luckily we have like 2 weeks to do it, so it's not like we have to get everything done today, but did a lot today. It's just exhausting moving everything, packing everything up, and then it's like, yeah, our new place is like up 3 stories of stairs, no elevator, so you're just hauling crap up, and it was hot today. But no, it's going really cool, or really well. Our new place is really cool, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, a new move is always exciting, so excited to get settled in. So hopefully that will be by this weekend is what my goal is.
Awesome. Ethan, what about you, man? It feels like we see each other twice a week, but it feels like it's been a long time.
I know it does. I'm good. Just work today. Pretty weird day, but it was good. Now I'm off for a week because I have my little thing going on tomorrow, and then I'm off to Texas on Wednesday morning. So, yeah. So can't really complain. Vacation coming up.
We're going to shed a little tear. We're going to miss you for the episode coming out on Thursday. But
I know it.
We're going to try to get an extra episode out with Wyatt and Ethan. We're going to try to have that one out. Is that Wednesday, guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Posting on Wednesday? Okay, cool. Little goal, if we can get this number you see right over here, let's try to get up to 235. 230 a bare minimum. Get on this wall of fame right here. If you subscribe and comment, we post you right here. You're going to stay up there for as long as I got this wall of fame up. So you're going to be up here for a while. Guys, do you have anything we want to touch on before we start getting into our big three?
I got something thought of.
I'll quickly touch on. I saw it today while I was looking through the board. We're really coming down to a lot of baseball plays. Yep. So bear with us while we transition into this new sport. I've been trying to avoid it for as long as I can, but it's kind of unavoidable tonight when there's only one NHL game, no NBA. And it's just downhill from here in regards to other sports. So bear with us for our transition where you got to figure out some new strategies. I got to follow some new guys on Twitter, but getting into baseball. So it's exciting and also scary. Hopefully we can do better than I can do better than last season, but just give us a little patience and we'll find our way.
Yeah, I'll echo that. Also, mine's completely not even sports related, but ever since last week's episode, I've been craving powdered donuts. And finally went to the store last night, passed them in the checkout aisle. I was like, I need some of those. So
good
breakfast this morning, powdered donuts for me.
Did you go for the challenge or just casual eating?
Just a casual 6 minis.
Man, we're going to be getting into fantasy football stuff again. That's kind of where we're starting up today. We're excited about that. Starting up with the fantasy football and NFL futures, right, Ethan? I know you're a big future guy.
Big future guy, yeah. I thought, I was all gung-ho about the XFL and the USFL earlier in the year. Thought that was going to suffice, and then kind of just fell out of that. So, yeah, I'm getting to the point where I'm itching for football again for sure.
How much should the people put on the Detroit Lions Super Bowl champions? Or at least making
$0. Add that to my big three.
Yeah.
There's still a long ways until the season starts for you to make that bet. And I'm not going to put it past you. It seems something that you would do.
For them to win the Super Bowl?
No, for you to bet. Like for you to bet them to win it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you seem like a more realistic Lions fan than a lot of them I know, but I also wouldn't put it past you to take them on a Super Bowl ticket.
No, the only way I would if I get just like some random $5 free bet that I don't know what else to use it on. But even then, I'd probably throw it on like, I don't know, someone further San Francisco or something like that. But
Yeah. We got a comment, guys. Our first comment already is from Dynasty Pylon. He says, "How goes it, guys? It's going good, man. Thank you for hopping on.
Yeah. What's up, brother?
yeah, how we doing?
Subscribe. Give us your input too as we go through stuff. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Send us some questions. We'd love to discuss it.
Oh, I got one more question.
Yeah.
Wyatt, how'd you do on the Detroit Lions 10 players post that we had?
Oh yeah.
Not gonna lie, it got a little tough at the end. I need to pull up the video, but I think I got 8. There's
Okay.
is that I didn't get the O lineman. I have no idea. I just don't pay attention to those big fatties in the trenches. I don't know. I was gonna guess Jeff Backus.
I thought it was Riley Reef.
Yeah.
It was
Reef,
okay. Yeah, I had no idea. And then one of the later ones, I think it was the guy after Ebron. I think it was a wide receiver. I didn't know
Nate
who he was.
Burleson?
Who was it?
Nate Burleson.
Yeah. Yep. No, I would not have remembered that guy. But
Yeah.
I think I got everyone else except the O line and that wide receiver.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was tricky. I mean, I thought it was pretty easy at first, and then he threw up the. I think they were back to back, the wide receiver O lineman. I was like, oh boy, I don't know who those guys are. No, but I think that was the perfect amount of difficulty level. You know,
Yeah,
like,
me too.
they're the players you should like. Kenny Galladay was a sneaky one that maybe people forgot he played there, but yeah, I enjoyed that.
Thank you. I'm waiting for the first comment to put their team. Hey, do one for this. I was gonna do it. So if you're watching it, go to our TikTok right now. Comment your team. I'm happy to make them.
Well, if no one gives you anything, let's go with.
All right.
I'm looking at my wall of teams here. Go with Washington.
Washington. I can go Washington, and then the comments too. Comment on here if you want me to do a 10 player. See if you can name them for your favorite team.
Did you get all 10? Yeah, you're pretty good with like I'm so into like Michigan football that I could name I think every single player since 2000. But yeah, Lions. I know like the big guys, but like as soon as we start going O line, like interior D line, maybe a couple backers. Like I don't know.
I would have got like 6 of 10.
Yeah.
But I was making it, so
yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
You had to put in a little Dan Camby too. That was a good.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
I did like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If only I could put that skill to like use somehow, make money for it or something.
That's why you're here, brother.
That's why I'm here. I can look at a face and remember that guy's name from 02, but that's about all I got.
Yeah. Yeah. Dynasty Pylon, if you're still on, man, give us that sub, give us that subscription, bring us up to 230, and then I'll write your name. I'll write Dynasty Pylon on a slip of paper. I'll put it right up here. That's just free advertising, and we do this every Monday. So help our channel out. We'll help your channel out, man. We're happy to do it. And anybody else in the comments, too. Comment your name, subscribe. We're happy to get you up on the wall. You guys ready to get in the big 3?
I think so.
Okay.
I hope so.
Yeah. Ethan, let's start with you today.
All righty. So, Wyatt, clean out your ears here real quick because I'm giving something I don't often give. I'm going over in the hockey game tonight.
Oh.
Over 6. Dallas Kraken.
He doesn't look happy.
It's even odds. Here's my thing. If either of these teams is up, say 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, anything like that, there's going to be, the other team, the losing team is going to be going all out here. Nothing to lose. Might pull the goalie for multiple minutes. So for that reason, I'm leaning towards the over here. Obviously, if it's like 2-2, then we're probably screwed. No one's going to, they might sit back and play more defensively. I'm just banking on a team having a lead towards the end. Kind of one of those things I think it easily could land 6, maybe 4-2 final. But I think at plus money, I'll take a shot at the over. Oh, and also, this line isn't available, but if you're looking to live bet this game, the second period over. So there were 0 goals in the second period of game 1. The last 5 games, second period had 4, 6, 5, 3, and 3. So I think that's usually at 1.5, maybe 2.5.
The
Either way,
second
it's hit the
period?
last 5. Second period
Okay.
over. Yep.
Wow.
So I was wanting to give that play out, but it's not available pregame.
Right.
So
Oh, that's good to know. All right, I'm gonna scratch my first bet because it's the under. But I'm gonna go with the play I gave out for our daily locks. I'm gonna go Seattle team total over 1.5, Dallas team total over 2.5, parlayed together. I believe it was plus 120 or something like that, plus 125. I think the exact score is going to be 4-2 in favor of Dallas. I think it's going to be a 4-2 game. I think that's what Vegas thinks it's going to be. Over-unders at 6. The only thing that got me worried is game 7. I got scarred from that basketball game. I know it's not basketball, but Seattle scored 2 goals every single game in the playoffs except game 7 versus the Avalanche. So maybe that would throw them off a little bit. And then the Stars have scored over 4 at home each game this series. So I really like the Stars. I don't know. So I'm going to go with that little 2-teamer. Again, Seattle team total over 1.5, Dallas team total over 2.5. And that is plus, I think it's like 120. I forget what it is, but it's plus money. I did have the under, but I'm going to scratch that one off so I can root for Ethan's bet too.
I like it.
Well, I guess I will go to my Stars pick. I got the Stars 60-minute money line. That's minus 125. If you're looking at the public money, 64% of the public money's on Seattle. I feel like, I feel like Dallas is a better team. Dallas is at home. This is a bounce back game. If you watched that last
2:30
game 6,
2:30, we're there.
yeah. I was just pulling them. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna stop my little rant. That's what I was working on down there.
Oh, attaboy.
There it is.
Dynasty Pylon, the first one on the wall. What a legend! I'm put you right here. All right, Dynasty Pylon. Thank you, man. Welcome in.
Thank you.
He's on his lunch break right now, so he's just chilling, watching his dudes. So welcome in, man. We're happy to have you. Hop on anytime.
Definitely. Definitely.
But with 64% of the money on Seattle for the lesser team, that surprised me. It seems like a bounce back game. Dallas was not playing defense. If you watch that game, even the coach said that they were just like putting Oettinger out there to just hanging him out to dry. So they pulled him so he would be ready for game 7. They wanted to have the more rested goalie. At minus 190 is the money line for Dallas. So with such a low payout if the Stars win and the money being on Seattle, that would be a big win for Vegas.
Yeah.
If you're looking at that. And when they say Vegas knows, this is that exact scenario. So they got the fresher goalie. And I think just with all that said, I don't see it going to a game or going to overtime. So I'll just take the Stars 60-minute.
Like it. 4-2.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Well, let's do 5-2. Make us all happy. I do have that future still too for them to win this series. Thought it'd be a little easier than this, but
yeah,
we'll see. I finally can actually watch a game again, so I don't have to wake up at the ass crack of dawn. All right, I'm gonna stick with hockey. I'm going tomorrow. And I'm going to take. Oh no, I'm not going tomorrow. I'm going Wednesday. Am I going tomorrow? Where am I going? When is that next game?
He's all over the place.
I'm going Wednesday. Florida, Carolina. I'm taking Carolina money line minus 135. I think Carolina's the better team. Florida's kind of outkicked their coverage here. I mean, Florida's looked really good. Don't get me wrong, but I just think Carolina at home minus 135 to get the series off with a win. Just seems a little too short for me. I would expect this to be closer to like minus 150, minus 155. So I like that price.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at that game, but I think Florida's luck runs out here, or not luck, but I don't know. Carolina's just a more sound team, so I like
Yeah.
that bet. All right, I'm going to stay in MLB tonight, or go to MLB tonight. I'm taking a 2-team parlay. So my first bet was a 2-team teaser in the NHL, and now my second bet is a 2-team parlay in the MLB. You can kind of see this is how I bet. It's terrible strategy, but I'm going to take the Astros on the money line and the Diamondbacks on the money line tonight, plus 125, 2 teams together. Astros are playing the Cubs. I saw a lot of people were on the Cubs today. I just can't buy it. I'm going to take the Astros there. And then the Diamondbacks are against the Oakland Athletics. I kind of wanted to take the Athletics tonight, but I just can't do it either. So I'm going Diamondbacks, Astros. Hopefully they get it done. They're both like minus 195. I think the Diamondbacks like minus 210 on the straight up money line. So 2 teams together plus 125. We'll see if this is the new strategy in the MLB. Probably not, but we're going to give it a whirl tonight.
Okay. Man, well, there's this one I want to keep getting to, but I'm just lockstepping there with you guys today. Hurricane money line. Let's roll with it, baby. They're the better team. They're at home. And I love this quote that I found. This is from the head coach of the Hurricane. He said, "We're going to have to be at our best. We know the team we're playing. They've got everything covered top to bottom. That's why they're still playing." So they're not coming in totally underestimating these guys. And I think that's the big problem. I think that's probably a good reason why Boston got knocked out. I think they thought they were a lot better than Florida, and I'm sure Toronto did too. And so Carolina, they're one step away from the Stanley Cup. And really, if Dallas loses tonight, it's their cup to lose. So let's come out game 1 at home. Let's get the win versus Florida.
Yep, I obviously see eye to eye with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna do basketball, but I'm gonna go a little off kilter here. I'm gonna go baseball. I'm gonna do a player prop. Not really my style whatsoever.
Who are you?
Wow.
I'm a changed man. I don't know what's happening here.
You don't have work tomorrow. That's why.
And I'm betting against the public, and Ethan's betting like this. This is an odd episode.
What's happening? Okay, well, for the life of me, I really want to take Fernando Tatis Jr. to hit a home run tonight at plus 340. But to be a little bit safer for the show, I will take his over 1.5 total bases at even odds. Just kind of a gut feeling, honestly. Playing the Royals. I do have his season total over for home runs. Actually, I like Tatis quite a bit and the Padres. So I do somewhat pay attention to him, at least when he's up to bat. Feels like he's just due for a homer. And if he doesn't get one, I think he has a good chance of getting on base at least twice or hitting an extra base hit. So even odds, I'll take a pop at it. Kind of just a gut feeling.
Not bad. I was gonna have his under 1.5 bases in a couple of my prize picks entries, but I'll hold off on that one, I guess. I'm gonna go to tomorrow basketball. I'm gonna take the Nuggies -6 against the Lakers. There's no way the Lakers come out after an emotional game 7. There's no way the Lakers come out and even come close in this game. I think Jokic is gonna have a field day. I'll probably take a bunch of Jokic player props. I think the Nuggets win this game by 20 plus points. I still think it's going to be a competitive series, but I think this is going to be a wake-up call for LA.
Would you tease that to 10?
Sure.
Or would you take the alt line just to get even better odds?
Yeah. I mean, I'd take it. Again, I think it's going to be a 15, 20-point game. So I don't think it's going to be close. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Nice,
and I'm probably going to take Jokic over points and rebounds or something like that. Definitely a Jokic prop in there that I haven't decided yet. But yeah, there's no way in my mind LA keeps this game close.
Damn.
I think they win that series, though.
That's true.
They go down 0-2 quick.
If the Celtics lose, Ethan might just like totally win that bracket. Then
the Lakers make it. I'm looking good.
I'm happy our Celtics won, Wyatt. That would have been really bad for us.
It was a domination.
Yeah.
10 points in the third quarter from Philly.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
We're gonna go Angels money line. They're minus 125. Otani's pitching tonight. Uh, Orioles just had a season high 17 strikeouts in their last game. Angels,
Oh,
they've been struggling, while the Orioles, they've kind of been streaking a bit lately. I think they won 4 of their last 5. Um, just like that, the Dallas game, the money is on the Orioles. Money line and spread. Orioles are favored. So, and in a game with Otani pitching, that just kind of surprised me a little bit.
yeah.
So, we're gonna go with the Angels.
It was definitely a weird line. I saw that one as well. I
Yeah.
stayed away, but it's hard not to bet on Shohei. He did his one loss in the season was his most recent, so I think maybe that's the hesitation.
Mhm.
But in the Orioles, I think are on a heater right now. But
They
yeah, it's
are.
tough to bet against Shohei. So no complaints. It is a fishy line for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, with the Angels, they've been really struggling. So, I mean, all trends have to end at some point. So why not take them here when you can get like you're minus 125 odds on a Otani pitching. You're not going to get
Yeah.
that much this season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you guys want to cover anything else? Did you guys have anything else you're looking at?
No. I'm gonna we'll have that episode out on Wednesday, but I will be starting to look at PGA bets. So stay tuned for some golf. Again, we're running out of sports to bet, so I think it's a good opportunity to jump into golf for a nice little major this weekend, PGA Championship. So yeah, stay tuned for a couple golf bets and futures and matchups. But yeah, anything that takes me out of baseball, I'm all ears for.
Okay, well, let's talk about let's just kind of preface what we're going to be talking about first, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. So, there is no grading system right now for players in fantasy football. It's just I think this guy's going to be good and this is why, and then I think this guy's going to be bad, this is why. But there's no real reason besides just I think. So, what we're going to try to do is this system, obviously players that are really good, they've been good, they have high volume, low injury risk, obviously they're going to score higher and everybody opposite is going to score lower. But every once in a while you'll find, like maybe towards the middle of rankings, there's one guy that his numbers pop up a little bit, and maybe some guy in the top 10 where his numbers are like noticeably lower, and those are kind of where you can start to get a numerical value for busts and breakouts. So I call it the Bentley player grading system. I made it last year, and I want to know your guys' thoughts. I sent you guys the image about the concept and looking at it. I just want to know your guys' initial reactions.
Yeah, I can start here. I didn't get a chance to fully dive into it, but I guess just my initial reaction is, yeah, it's something that I think has been missing from fantasy football. Kind of shocking that it's not a more, I don't know, talked about topic, or like a more where more people aren't coming up with something like this, because
Mm-hmm.
fantasy football is such a big thing. And especially now, some of the prize pools that people get into with it, you would think they'd be going to all extremes to, try to figure this stuff out. So, yeah, I haven't gotten to fully dig too deep into the numbers and the scoring and all that. But I'm excited to look into it, get to know it, and ultimately use it.
Yeah, I think it's super useful. As you said, like we're getting into a very analytical and statistical world. And, you would think fantasy football is one of those, but I feel like fantasy football, at least right now, is just, you're drafting guys on pure emotion
Mm-hmm.
and pure. I mean, it just doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of science or stats behind it. Like, obviously, you have a system that you trust, or like, running backs, wide receivers, take those guys first, obviously. But like, there's really no statistical data or ranking system in my mind that's or that that people make. And so yeah, I think this is a huge market opportunity for sure. And I really like just having, again, I'm a really big numbers guy, so having like a ranking system and numbers based off of, I see we have 8 different categories.
Mm-hmm.
that goes into the point system. So I think that could become really useful. Obviously, we'll have to put it to the test, but yeah, I think it'll be super effective and useful for drafting fantasy teams.
So going into it, do we think it's possible? Is it possible to have a grading system to have a fairly accurate assessment on a player? Just yes or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, but I feel like we have to say like it's going to be tough to stay consistent with every player because even
Mhm.
though we do have a bunch of statistical data, like there's still a little bit of that's left to
Chance.
interpretation.
Yeah.
Right. Or chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely think if we stay consistent, like obviously you're a Chiefs fan, we're a Lions fan. Like we
Mhm.
just had to put that aside and just go
Right.
straight like by the numbers and stuff. If we stay consistent like that, I think we could get a pretty accurate evaluation of these players.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So I'm going to put it up on the screen now for everybody to see it. And then we're going to switch to a different kind of format. So you guys are going to be able to see it in the bottom. Don't freak out if you can't see it. I'll go back to full screen time to time again. I'm going to pull it up right now. What you're looking at, this is the grading system. We have one for quarterbacks, one for running backs, one for wide receiver, tight ends. Like Wyatt was saying, you have 8 categories, and all of them equal 7 points, with a minimum for quarterbacks 2.45, minimum for running backs 1.95, minimum 2.15. So a 7-point player is a player that has, like, if you're looking at quarterbacks, all the weapons in the right scheme, great O-line, basically the perfect player. And if they're the low numbers, obviously those are the bad players. So do you guys have
Ben, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Did you create this mid-season last year, or did you have a chance to use this
I had a
going
chance.
into last season?
I had a chance to use it going into last season.
Okay, cool.
So
Okay.
I posted some TikToks that didn't do super well, so I ended up taking them down. So this is like the second come around. This is
Okay.
going to be the BPGS 2.0. This is the better in green BPGS. So as you can see right beneath me now is the Bentley player grading system. And as we're looking at it, I have right now weapons 0.5 to 1.5. 4 options is 1.5, 3, 1.2, 2, 1, 1, 0.8, 0 options 0.5. What do we think about that first category? And also, you're got to remember that this is out of 7 points. So some of these are weighted. Like, obviously, I think weapons is a big part of quarterbacks. So this is over a 1 point out of 8 categories. Some of them are going to be like 0.5. A 1.5,
Right.
that's a heavy weight. So I like looking at the quarterbacks. I want to know your guys' thoughts.
I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting. Like, for example, Patty Mahomes probably doesn't have that many weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So, and obviously, we all know he's probably the best quarterback in the league. Usually, fantasy, he's up there, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how he does there because really, I don't really know a whole lot of his wide receivers. Running back wise, he's okay, but so his weapons, he's probably not going to have a whole lot of options. So that'll be interesting for him there. But yeah, I think weapons is a huge role, like you just said. Like if you don't have people to throw to, and if you can't move like Patty Mahomes can, then you're not going to be throwing much points every Sunday. So I think the weapons is extremely crucial, and I think that's appropriately weighted at
Okay.
1.5 max.
Yeah, I like the grading system for sure. Yeah, definitely. What's the word I'm looking for? Objective. Is that the right one, or subjective? Yeah. Objective, or it's like up. So
Subjective is like opinion, I think, and objective is like factual.
Okay, subjective.
Okay.
I guess as to like what a weapon is. But do you have that in your head, Ben? Like, because then you can go grade the receivers and the running backs, and if they hit a certain number, does that make them a weapon?
Not quite. So like let's stick with the Chiefs. So you got Travis Kelce. I would put that as a weapon. Kadarius Toney, I will put him as a weapon. And I think for receivers, like the borderline ones, if there's 2 borderline, I think you can combine them for 1.
Okay.
I would probably stop there. Pacheco, he can kind of catch passes unless you want to count Jerick McKinnon. So this is also, it can be weighted to your thoughts. So everybody's grading system can be different.
Right.
But it'll all be pretty close though at the end of the
Yep.
day.
Right.
And especially if you like stay consistent with, two, Sky Moore and someone else put together, like Sky Moore and McKinnon put together could be a weapon.
Right.
And if you stay like that consistent through each team, I think you get pretty accurate.
Yeah. You could say like Pacheco, Sky Moore, and MVS combined for one. If you wanted to do something like that. Looking at offensive scheme, I have, if they're in a pass heavy, 1, balanced 0.75, and run heavy, they're at 0.5. Obviously, like the Chiefs, they throw a lot, and all these teams that throw a lot, they're going to get more points. Balanced, I have, because really, there's not many teams under 50% passing. Really, like there's most people pass more than they run, but I would say probably if you're looking at it, the middle 10 teams I would say are the balanced.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a lot. You'll see that in a lot of my breakdowns. If there's 3 groups, it's 11, 10, and 11. And then like a plus, or I say plus or minus, it's just like a error of 2. So if you have a person that's at 9, but you think they're mid, then you can bump them down to mid.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. And that scheme too, or the offensive scheme category is purely statistical. I feel like, if you're throwing 75 and above, you can say that's 1, or, so that one's pretty easy to figure out how much points you're getting.
Yeah.
Well, here's my one question with that. So let's look at the Bears, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably consider them run heavy, but a lot of it's Justin Fields. So
we get to that.
Okay.
We do get to that.
Jump ahead.
I think, that's actually the very next one, rushing. So he would get a full point for being over 650 yards. And
right.
Then
okay.
the 0.8 for 450, 640, 0.6, 250 to, what is that, 440. And then 0.4 if it's under 249. That's going to be like your Kirk Cousins, I think. Like even Patrick Mahomes, as much as he runs, I don't even know if he cracks that 250 to 440.
Right.
So he's 0.4% or 0.4 on a 7-point scale. Does that feel fair of an advantage for Lamar Jackson and like Fields over Mahomes?
Yeah, I would.
To a 0.6.
Yeah.
Because we can adjust these decimals.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with the rushing is like people are super high because they like Justin Fields will still probably put up decent numbers just because he's going to rush for at least 100 yards a game, probably 2 rushing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always like a weird factor in the like he's not going to throw for crap.
Mm-mm.
But rushing wise, he could put up 15 points a game easily. If he has 100 yards and a touchdown, that's 17 points right there, or 16 points. So I don't know. Maybe I would consider maybe a little higher, possibly. Like maybe you could do like a 1.25 here and possibly knock off a 0.25 on the scheme, maybe, or knock off something there. I don't know. I feel like the rushing is super important. Like same thing, like Lamar Jackson. Like obviously he's drafted every single year, probably like the 3rd or 4th quarterback just because of his rushing ability. So I think rushing for quarterbacks is at least I think it's a decent. I never pick a rushing quarterback just because I'm afraid they're going to get snapped in half. But a lot of people's strategy is to pick that rushing quarterback because they could account for 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns a game. So maybe a little. I would be on the vote for maybe a little bit higher point total there. Okay. But I again never take a rushing quarterback, but I know people that are all over like Jalen Hurts. He's going to be a massive rushing attack, but he's not going to be that passer. But he's also probably going to be like the third quarterback off the board,
Mhm.
So I don't know. Maybe I would maybe say a little higher for rushing, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, I'd maybe agree. And my main thought is just because obviously you get more points for 10 rushing yards than you do 10 passing yards. So it is pretty beneficial for those guys. I would like the going up to 1.25. Also wouldn't hate keeping where we're at with the numbers and just adding another category like 800 plus. Just so it's pretty rare to get those guys. But that'd probably be my
Makes sense to
initial.
me. You want to add another category, Wyatt?
Sure.
Okay. So
Yeah, I mean, how many quarterbacks are under the, and this is season rushing yards, right? How many quarterbacks are under 250, 15?
Probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of them finish like real close to there. That's just them scrambling out of the pocket and falling down.
Right.
Add a quarterback.
How many finish above like 700, 750? 2 or 3?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A healthy Lamar, a healthy Justin Fields, maybe Jalen. But he gets a lot of goal line work. I don't know if he necessarily gets the yards, especially now that he's been to a Super Bowl. They might try to protect him. But Wyatt, you must not be paying attention to Bears Twitter if you don't think Fields is going to throw the ball much. All those Bears fans, they think he's like the next coming of
Yeah,
Mahomes.
I don't understand that.
Dude, I don't either. Drives me insane.
Dude threw for like 12 times a game.
Dude, it drives me insane.
His stat line was like 6 for 12, 37 yards.
Yes.
440 rushing yards.
Yes. I've seen multiple graphics with him as the second best quarterback in the NFC. I'm like, based on what?
He literally can't throw the
three
ball.
Wins? His 3 wins last year? Is that why he's really good?
And when he does, like they run the triple option, so when he does throw, it's just like a little bootleg dump or something. Like it's nothing special, or like a super. Yeah, it's all booting and it's nothing special. Like, yeah,
I think they got like, I don't know, the next Antonio Brown with DJ Moore.
Yeah,
like
he's there's a reason no one wants him.
Yeah, it's like he's immediately your wide receiver 1, but
yeah.
He ain't great. But anyway, sorry.
Look,
Bears rant.
You're good. I agree 100% with what you're saying too. I don't get the Justin Fields hype.
Oh man.
Good
fantasy player.
Yeah, he is. Looking at O-line next. So 1 is an elite O-line, 0.75 good, 0.5 is average, and 0.25 is bad. We've seen how bad, Justin Fields, we're looking at him. He did okay, but he couldn't pass for anything. You guys remember that Chicago-Washington game? Like those quarterbacks.
Oh, do I remember?
Yeah, those quarterbacks could do nothing, man. Do we feel like that grading's pretty good?
Yeah, I'm good with that one for sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Clean cut.
I'd say probably if you just divide the league into fourths, if they're in the top fourth percentage, then they're elite.
1 point for Goff.
Yeah, that's true, dude. Lions have a good old line.
Does have a great old line.
It is.
Now these are probably gonna be the most controversial. I know why we were talking about this one off air. Play history. So 0.2 to 1. They get 1 point if they've had 3 or more years in the top 12. They get 0.8, 3 or more years in top 16, 0.6 for 2 in the top 16, 0.4 in 1 of the top 16, and 0.2 in 0 of the top 16. So when you're looking at that, obviously this is going to really downgrade rookies, but part of this whole assessment is the risk that's involved. So what do you guys think with this being so kind of heavily against? You're coming in already 0.8 points down. Is that fair for a rookie coming in?
I mean, how many rookies start right away each year?
Right.
Usually they don't. Like Bryce Young might. but like CJ Stroud probably not gonna get the start, and if he better not. But so I think that's fair because I mean, a lot of rookies just don't come out and play right away. They're usually, if they do, it'll be later, second half of the season. So I think that's fine. If you're starting week 1 fantasy football and you're starting CJ Stroud or
Ryan
Will Levis,
Leaf.
yeah, then you are in some trouble and your team's probably crap. But so I think that's fine. They kind of, I mean, they have to prove themselves anyway. So I have no problems with that.
Okay.
Yep, 100% agree. Just to be clear, so this is like for that 1 point, that's 3+ years, top 12 for fantasy scoring.
Yeah.
It's
Finishes.
like,
Yearly
Okay, yeah.
finishes.
Okay.
Yep. And
I like that.
because I'm thinking like if I don't feel like Kirk Cousins, who's usually like a top top end quarterback, but he's not with the Mahomes and the Allens, but he's kind of around that area. I felt like he shouldn't be in that whole 1 point, so we like downgraded it to top 16 to 0.8, and so he's 0.2 less. I feel like that was pretty fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Kirk is the guy where one league you can snag him for a week or two if your quarterback's on bye, and then in your other league you need somebody and he's picked up.
Yeah.
Kind of just floats the line a little bit.
That's
Him and Derek
perfect.
Carr. Yeah.
That is the perfect analysis. That's so good. He does.
Yeah.
And now I spent when I was making this the first time, I spent a lot of time looking at the age when players start falling off. So these injury ones and age ones are pretty darn close. They're backed up by quite a bit of data. This isn't just me coming up with stuff. So I didn't even mention this earlier. We had it in the offensive scheme. You decrease by 0.2 if they're on a new team. So that just takes into account learning a new scheme, learning new players, getting down timing. Aaron Rodgers. Don't draft him with your first overall pick. You decrease a level, so a whole level once they're over the age of 36. So if they've never been hurt, they're a 0.5 healthy. 0.3 is if there's like small injury concerns coming in, like they have a history, but they're coming in 100%. Like, I'd say like a DeAndre Swift. You wouldn't have him be a healthy dude because he's always injured. You put him at a 0.3 or a 0.1 serious. If they're coming back from a serious injury or they have a long injury history, like a dude that just can't stay on the field, you put him at a 0.1. So if you have a quarterback that's like never been injured and he's 0.5, but he's 37, I would move him down to 0.3 just because at that point you're starting to, your injury risk is going up and your ability is going down.
Right.
Yep. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Perfect.
What would like Patty Mahomes be on that? Would he be a 0.5 or would he be a 0.3 with like 3 years in a row of a knee / ankle / with never missing games, just like hobbling around the end of the seasons?
I would say a 5. I would say a 0.5. Kind of like Ben Roethlisberger too. It's more like missing games that you're concerned about than like actually being injured.
Okay, that makes sense.
You guys know Dan Fouts? I think he's an announcer now.
Yeah.
He used to be the quarterback for the Chargers.
Yeah.
They called him Candlestick because one blow and he was out.
That's hilarious.
0.1.
0.1. Yeah. Yeah. When he gets old, it's like, I have nothing to bring this man down to. 0.
It's a courtesy 0.1.
Yeah. Defense game script. And obviously this is going to be different for different players. So with quarterbacks, 0.5 if they have a bad defense. So that means they're going to have to score a lot more. And they're going to have to be throwing the ball, and teams are going to be scoring on them. 0.4 for average defense and 0.3 for elite defense. So there's only from the top end to the back end a 0.2 differential. So defense isn't making a huge difference, but you're still getting that those bad teams that quarterbacks have to chuck it around the yard. You get that little cushion with them. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm fine with that being such a low difference because kind of in a reverse way of how you have this ranked, if you have a really good defense, it means your offense is going to be on the field more.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I agree why, bad defense usually means you need to score more, but sometimes a good defense means you're going to be on the field more.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with a 0.2 differential just
Okay.
because it's not a huge factor.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's why like Matt Stafford had some of the best passing yards because he had to come from behind every single season,
Yeah.
every single game.
Yeah.
So I understand completely the thought process.
Yep. I was basically going to say that same thing, word for word.
Perfect. Down to the Matt Stafford
Down to
comparison.
the Matt Stafford.
He's still a great
Stafford.
quarterback, but I mean, he got 1,500 yards each season just in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Each game, or
He earned his nickname, Pad Statsford.
Yes. Yes. And then the last one it says divisions with good defenses. This almost can just be divisions with good teams. If they have no good teams, so shit. Like the NFC South, there would be a 0.50 teams that they have to face in their own division that are good. There's one team that's good, 0.4, 2 teams, 0.3, 3 teams, 0.2. This is more so that you have to play these guys 6 times over the course of a year. And when your whole fantasy season's 12 to 13 weeks, that's half of your season.
Yeah.
Is in these games. So if you're in a really tough division, then you're going to have a tough season. This one is kind of weird too. Kind of like you were saying, Wyatt. It can go either way. What do you think?
Yeah. It could go either way because what division are the Chiefs in? The
AFC
AFC.
West.
Yeah, and that's just every time those teams play, it's 40-point games.
Yeah.
But also, like if you're in the NFC East, those are just bloodbaths, all those matchups. So I completely agree. So 0.3 differential. I'm fine with a 0.2, but I think it's a little more important, like you have it ranked than your defense. But yeah, I think that's appropriate ranking.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you could almost just go. Yeah. I think it's an easier way of like strength of schedule, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Would you guys kind of keep it in that order? Would you rather say divisions with good teams than good defenses? Or would you keep it good defenses?
I would say,
considering it's like scoring wise, like you were saying, Wyatt.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just for like a couple different conferences that's just how they play. I'm fine with keeping a defense because we are talking about quarterbacks.
Okay.
Because they don't really care technically about the other team's offense, but I think either way it's worded fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And you'd keep the scoring the exact same in that order. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's move on to running backs. Everybody's favorite fantasy football players to talk about. So we're looking at these are going to be different than like the quarterback. So all these are individualized to the position. Workload 0.25 to 1. This is you get 1 point for 70+% workload, which is very, very few running backs in the NFL nowadays. 0.75 for 55 to 69. 0.5, so you're getting half a point if they're getting pretty much half the work or less. 54% to 33, and 0.25 if they're getting 32% or less of the carries. Or I should say
looks
workload.
good to me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And I know we have injury, so there is stuff. Derrick Henry, who is probably one of the few that are going to be up there in workload. His injury, we could maybe factor that down a little bit on his injury report.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. There's ways of counteracting super high workload and injury concern.
Exactly.
Between the two, Derrick Henry has 1 point.
Yeah.
That's probably accurate.
And he has one at workload.
Yeah. Yeah. Receiving. So this is going to be kind of when you're looking at the PPR. Obviously, they get receiving yards in both, but it's a bigger factor in any PPR type scoring. 1 point for 65 plus receptions, which that's you're looking at like the Ecklers, like that's kind of rare territory. 65 plus Kamara, 0.75 from 45 to 64. I feel like that is you're a pass catcher, but you're not like a primary pass catcher. You're not like an Eckler. And then there's 25 to 44, which I feel is the guys that aren't really pass catching backs, but they're starters, so they're catching most of the passes out of the backfield. And then 0.25 is the Derrick Henrys that just don't really catch passes.
Yep. My question is, where would the rookies fit into these categories? Do you estimate?
Yes. Yeah. And this is like, especially because this is risk based, this is like kind of the mean of, as you know, like the as bad as you think they'll do and as good as you think they'll do. So if you think, oh well, he could have like 1,200 yards, but you look at like how players statistically do, how he fits, and just like 800 is kind of like the area that his type of player and that the scheme is, you'd put him in 800.
Okay.
Right. All I'll say is Jahmyr Gibbs better have 65 plus catches to justify that draft position.
We haven't even started talking about Jahmyr. He's over in the our wide receiver tight end grading scale. He's on
Yeah.
He better be.
Offensive scheme 1, this time for run heavy, 0.75 balance, 0.5 for pass heavy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. Injury concern and age. Here we go. 1 point for healthy or minimal injury history. 0.75 if they're healthy, but they have a moderate injury history. 0.5 if they're healthy but have a max injury history, or if they have like an injury coming into it. So we looked at like Miles Sanders at the beginning of the year, had that hamstring injury, and if it happened real close to the draft, like when everybody was drafting, so I think it kind of went under the radar, like, oh well, he'll be good by the time the season gets here. And obviously we saw it didn't heal and was a big factor throughout the entire season. So if they're going in with an injury, you have to mark them down to 0.5. And if they have like a full-blown injury and a max history, they're 0.25. And just like with quarterbacks, decrease a level once they're over the age of 28. So that is Derrick Henry. If he gets injured, we have to decrease your level from the 0.25, buddy. That's 0.
Yeah. And Zeke's getting up there too. Is he 28 yet?
Yeah.
That's when Derrick Henry gets injured, not if.
Yes. Offensive scheme also, you're going to decrease that one by 0.1 if they're on a new team. So I think that's the lowest of any changing team totals, because I don't think too much changes with running backs. Do you guys agree that running like receivers and quarterbacks have a lot harder time?
Yep.
Yeah, even like the NFL is so weird. There's a lot of the same in everything, but I do agree. I think running back it's a gap's an A gap. Like there's not much difference there.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. I would almost say you could even take that out, but I'm also fine keeping it.
Okay. I just remember like over the past couple of years when guys switch teams that there might be like quite a bit of hope and hype, and then it just doesn't always pan out. So it's just adding a little bit of that risk of not knowing. Kind of like with the quarterbacks or with the rookies, sorry.
I guess there is, yeah, because I think McCaffrey, I think he had a really good game, but I don't think he like touched the ball like he typically would. I think he just made the most of his chances, if I remember right. Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Cool. O-line, obviously this is huge for the running backs as well. Same exact scoring. Cool with that?
Yep.
Red zone. Not NFL red zone. These are red zone carries. 1 point if they're a primary back. 0.5 if they split opportunities. 0.25 if they're a non-goal line back. So like those little scat backs that aren't going to be getting the touchdowns, they get dinged there.
Jamal Williams
Oh God, Jamal.
as the primary back. Yeah.
You're gonna make me cry.
Swift at 0.25. Or just put Swift at a 0.
Yeah.
Did he even have a touchdown last year? I don't even know.
It didn't feel like it, man.
He had a couple on screen passes.
Oh, right.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that might be my favorite category so far.
Perfect.
I like that.
Perfect.
I like that.
Thank you, man. Defense game script. Now, I feel like we're all going to probably agree on this one. If it's an elite defense, then they're going to pound the rock. They're going to get, like you said, Wyatt, more chances. They're not going to have to be throwing the ball like crazy to come back. So 0.5, 0.3 for average, 0.1 for bad defense.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So I might be overthinking this, but in my head, that would be flipped. 0.5 if you're going against a bad defense. Because then if you're winning, if they're a bad defense, you likely score more, which then could give you points, and then you're likely running more, would be my thought there.
Because this is your defense. Like,
okay.
So this is like the Lions.
We're talking, okay.
The Lions
we're talking
defense.
Jameer Gibbs. This is okay.
Lions defense, yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense then.
Okay, perfect.
So that's the same with the quarterback as well then.
Quarterback. Yeah. I guess I got that switched around then. Yeah.
Okay.
Because then can we agree on quarterback with that one then too? That is that team's defense.
If we're talking Mahomes, then we're talking Chiefs D. Okay, yep.
Okay, perfect. I will make a note to change the wording on that. I'll say team defense.
Okay.
And then we got play history again. 0.1 to 0.5. Obviously, running backs don't play as long, so if they have only just two top, and I made these as 12, so basically they finish as a running back 1, then it counts. 2 top 12 years, 0.5, 1 top 12 year, 0.4, 2 top 24, 0.3, 1 top 24.2, and 0 top 24 is 0.1.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're losing 0.4 as a rookie, which feels fair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now the wide receiver tight end grading scale. Obviously, these guys are looped in together because they do the same thing. Targets. This is another heavily weighted one. 1.5 if they're seeing 160 plus targets. 1.2 for 130 plus. 1 for 110 plus. 0.8 for 80 plus. And 0.5 is anything under 79.
Yep. Like it.
Yep. No complaints for me.
Okay. I'm a big opportunity guy versus like if you're just looking what they got at the end of the season stats wise.
100%.
And then obviously this has the two heaviest scaled is quarterback pairing because obviously who's throwing you the ball? Zach Wilson upgraded to Aaron Rodgers. That's going to be a huge change for those boys. 1.5 elite, 1.1 good, 0.75 average, 0.35 is for a bad quarterback. So like a 1.5 Jared Goff, basically. An elite. Ethan, I can see him processing.
Give him 2. Sorry, I was clicked over on the screen. That took me a minute.
Okay.
Justin Fields 1.5, Jared Goff 1.1.
Goff is off the charts. We already know it. Just give the man a Super Bowl trophy and let's all go home.
Yeah. I hope Gardner Minshew starts over Anthony Richardson. I love that man. But does that weight feel fair? I mean, that's a whole 1.15 of an elite quarterback versus a bad quarterback. Is that enough? Is that not enough?
I think it's fair. I mean, you see like really good wide receivers go behind like wide receiver 2 sometimes just because like not a perfect example, but DeAndre Hopkins with Kyler Murray, or are you going to take Godwin for the Bucks.
Right.
Like, it's a tough. Like those two are very similar, just because you have a great quarterback on one team, and then you have Kyler, who I guess had a bad season, but again, not a perfect example. But I think it's fine. Like I really look at quarterback pairing for wide receivers. That's an extremely important part. Like whoever Justin or Herbert's throwing the ball to, those guys are high stock, hot commodities. So I think it's fine. But it looks like Ethan had something to say.
Yeah, I'm just chewing on it a little bit. I think it's fine. Because then also you're getting quarterbacks that are less efficient. You're not going to have as many plays, more than likely.
Yeah.
Which is going to be huge. Yeah, that one's going to be very subjective as well because, there are those. I forgot who it was. But like when quarterbacks come in and they hit their, wide receiver 3 12 times or something,
Right.
So you're just going to have that knowledge of it, I guess. But yeah, I think I'm going to think on that one for a while. But for right now, I think it's probably good. And I'll probably end up thinking it's good.
Okay.
But a lot to break down with that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Depth spot. So this is kind of like what we were just talking about too, like throwing to your wide receiver 3. So if they're the top target, they get the 1 point. They're the second target, they're the Godwin, they get 0.75. Target 3, 0.5. Target 4 or deeper is that 0.25. At that point, if you're 4th or lower, that's really almost like a waiver wire guy. So
yeah.
1 through 3, and 3, obviously they're not going to get as much. So at 0.5, they're half of what the starter is. I feel like that's pretty fair.
Yep.
Is 0.75 okay for second? Because I know there's some seconds that are pretty good, like the Lockett's and the Godwins.
I mean, there's always the idea of everyone's going to lock down the 1, so we're going to focus on 2. So I think it's fine. I mean, I don't think you can go a whole lot higher. I guess maybe you could go 0.8 and then 0.2 at 4, possibly. Maybe give a little more juice to the wide receiver 2. Because wide receivers 4, like, I don't really know even who a wide receiver 4 is. So maybe
also,
I would.
This is like, because this includes tight ends too. So like IU could be a 3.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah, I don't know. I'm okay throwing a little more juice at the wide receiver 2, just because of like,
yeah.
If you try to lock down wide receiver 1 every game, the wide receiver 2 is going to be open. So that's why like Lockett's so good, or why Godwin has great seasons, or
right,
those kind of guys.
Yeah, I like that too. That's why Marvin Jones was always so good in Detroit.
Yeah.
Quietly racking up 1,000 yards.
Or Mike Williams and Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
We'll make that adjustment.
I can't really think of anyone.
Offensive scheme. This is another decrease by 0.25 if they're on a new team. 0.5 to 1 pass heavy, 0.75 bounce, 0.5 run heavy.
Perfect.
Cool. Red zone again. 0.5 if they're the top threat. And this is where you kind of have to remember, like, I'd say Kelsey's the top red zone threat on Kansas City.
For sure.
So you couldn't say Tony's the top threat.
Right.
0.4, top 2 option. 0.2 if they're on the field. And then 0.1 if they're just like totally not utilized. Like I remember Kenny Golladay getting quite a few, like, because he's big, he can get up in the end zone and get the ball. But for some of those guys, they would just pull off the field. Like, you're small, you're not strong, so you're not going to power your way into the end zone. You're not going to jump over somebody, get off the field.
Who was the guy? I think it was last year, maybe the year before. Literally didn't have a touchdown like for like the first 10 games of the season. Was like their best wide receiver, but didn't have a touchdown. You remember who I'm talking about?
Deontay Johnson.
That was Golladay.
Right?
Oh, was it Golladay?
Oh, it could have been Johnson too.
It was both. I don't think Johnson finished with a touchdown.
I don't think Golladay did either 2 years ago.
Huh.
His first year with the Giants.
You said last year or 2 years ago? What?
I don't know what it was. I just remember it was like a really solid wide receiver, like does great, but as soon as he got into the red zone, just didn't get a touchdown for a long time. But like Golladay, I don't think that was it, because Golladay just sucked flat out when he got to the Giants. But
yeah,
I don't know. if I'm
That's
just
sad.
make believing, or maybe it could have been a running. I don't know what it was. But
Ben, I want to bring you back to the old bad days of being a Chiefs fan. Remember when they didn't score a touchdown with a receiver? for,
Yeah,
like,
not a
an
single
entire
receiver.
season?
Yeah, dude, that was so
insane.
annoying. That was so annoying. That was Alex
Uh,
Smith just getting touchdowns to Kelsey and Jamal Charles. And that's it.
yeah.
God, Jamal Charles, man, what a great he single-handedly won my fantasy team.
Dude, I love
Lions
Jamal.
ruined his career. Tore his ACL against us. And we smoked you guys after that.
Guy was a stud, man.
God.
And that was one of the best seasons ever. What was that, 2010 or something like that?
I feel like it had to be
Yeah,
around there.
somewhere in
9, 10,
there.
11, something like that.
Yeah. Because that
12
was
maybe.
that was before I think Smith got there. Wasn't Matt Castle still the quarterback?
Just during that one season, his great season, you mean?
The year I thought we were talking about the year he tore his ACL.
Oh yeah, that was Matt Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that game like it was yesterday. I think we won like 48-10
Yeah, it was
or
bad,
something
dude.
crazy.
It was
Yeah.
bad. Do you remember that the Raiders game? Jamal Charles with the 5 touchdowns, Wyatt? Did you
Oh,
have him
yeah.
that year?
He had like 55 points. Yeah. Yeah.
I
my
never
team
had-
was trash, and he literally won me my whole fantasy league.
I never had him on my team, but I still watch the highlights from that game.
Yeah. Dude, it was nuts.
Yeah, he was a beast.
It was against the Raiders too, so it doesn't get much better than that.
Right.
Ethan, you can sorry, I had to place my bet before this game. You can get second period totals
Really?
on MGM has it.
I was looking at DraftKings. What do we got for that?
It's minus
over?
160
For over
at
1.5?
over 1.5.
It doesn't offer alt line of 2.5.
Yeah, and I don't see one.
Yeah.
I just saw it on here. I'm gonna take it for a little guy. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. I forgot this game's on in 30 minutes.
Also, that's sitting at 5.5 minus 120. We might have to do some adjusting on the old.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Was over 6 plus 100. I think I'd rather take the 5.5 minus 120.
Yeah.
For the big 3, but
just text
who's
it
counting?
to me.
Well, let me see if there's 7 goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me choose later.
Oh God, it did go to 5.5. Damn.
That's not good.
That's okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Win.
Anyway, one thing I was gonna say, I like that the red zone is higher for running backs for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Perfect. Expected yardage 0.5 for 1,200 yards, 0.4 for 1,000 yards, 0.3 for 750, 0.2 for under 749.
Yep.
I know like the top tier dudes like the Jamar and Justin Jeffersons are like the 14 would really like benefit from a plus 1,400 yards, but I just feel like there's not enough guys to create that category.
Right.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So now going back to the running backs, like the receiving yards. Or no, sorry, the reception. So is that expected or is that previous year?
The reception number.
Mm-hmm.
That's like projected.
Okay. So I would maybe just add expected in front of that. Expected receiving. Just to keep it uniformed.
Yeah. Projected receiving. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Because a lot of the guys that you're like looking at, when you're looking at how many receptions they have, it's usually the same throughout their career. Like they might have like some outliers, but the guy's going to be the guy he is throughout his career. So you can usually tell pretty close.
Right. So yeah, I guess. So the whole thing is really expected.
Pretty much.
Okay, so you're not looking at old statistics.
You're using it to get your projected.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Because it's like this is really just like a risk assessment
Yep.
and like upside assessment.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
No, I was just I like that approach to it.
Yeah.
But when I was just looking at like the workload, we'll say for running backs, I was
Mhm.
thinking of their previous year. So you'd have to like go back and see like, oh, what was
Yeah, it's a
his
lot of
workload?
work. It's a lot of
Yeah.
work if you're doing it.
Yep. But then
So
so you're just saying like we basically know Derrick Henry is 70% workload.
yeah.
So we'll just give that to, and then you kind of just estimate where people are
Yeah. And because teams
to it.
too, like especially if they have the same coach, it's like
Yeah.
really easy. Like this is their scheme and this is like their percentage breakdown.
Right.
So that I need to find the websites, but like all this stuff has like individual. You can get the total breakdown percentage for the team, and then you can get percentage breakdown per player.
Gotcha.
So you can get like full percentages.
Nice.
Injury age concern. It's 32 for receivers and tight ends. 0.5 for healthy, minimal history. 0.35 healthy, moderate history. 0.25 healthy with max history, or they're currently dealing with a slight injury. And 0.15 if they have an injury with a max history. I think that might be the lowest you can go on injury. Close. Quarterback's 0.1.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we see so much of like the turf toe, and there's so much that can affect like these receivers.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a mental thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy. I stashed him on my bench all year last year.
Yeah.
Like this guy's
Dude,
gonna come back.
They're gonna do like a 30 for 30 on that dude. He had one of the
Oh,
greatest
yeah.
seasons ever, and then
Nothing
gone.
ever again.
Must be because he went to Ohio State. They
Get
have
out of here.
something with that. Who was their running back? Clarence or what
Carlos
was his
Hyde?
name? No, but he was like the Clarice or something. Remember him? Back like in like 2003. Got in trouble with like guns and then never made it into the league. Was like the Heisman candidate as a true freshman.
Oh, John Morant.
I don't know.
yeah. What the hell is up with that? We'll finish out this graphic here, and then I tweeted it. But why the hell is flexing a gun a flex or flashing a gun? I don't understand. Like, cool, man, you got a pistol. Like, welcome to 70% of the world. Interesting to me.
We might have a funny YouTube short coming out here in a little bit about that topic. Just a heads up. Let's see. We're just about done. Play history 0.1 to 0.5. 0.5 this was also adjusted. So if they've only had 1 year in the top 12, they get the full points. I feel like we can see pretty early. Like we knew Justin Jefferson was going to be good. We knew Jamar Chase was going to be good. You can usually tell. 1 point for 0.4 points if they had a year in the top 24. 0.3 if they've had a year in the top 36. 0.2 if they've had 1 year in the top 36. Sorry, 0.3 was 2 years. And 0.1 is for 0 years in the top 36. And so these numbers are broken down like top 12, wide receiver 1, 24, wide receiver 2, 36, obviously wide receiver 3.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not tight end 3. They're tight end 3. They're ass. Don't draft them.
I don't know. Green Bay has like 7 tight ends now. So
that's true. I feel like Green Bay always has a lot of tight ends.
I don't know. Tunyon was not the guy, so I'm happy they got 2 more to fix Tunyon. But the amount of times I bet on Tunyon to score a freaking touchdown last year, good God.
I
He had
remember
one.
playing with Mercedes Lewis on Madden
Yeah.
like 06,
Mm.
and the guy was like a vet. He's
Yeah.
still doing it. I'm like, dude, you got to call it. What are you doing?
So now that we went through the whole thing, what do you guys think about it? What do you think? Is there anything now that we went through all of it we want to go back to address?
I'm feeling pretty good about the adjustments we made, and I think you have just a great model uh, as a whole with very little that needs adjusting. I mean, really, none of it needs adjusting. But yeah, I think over the years we can work on it and tweak it where it
Mhm.
needs to be tweaked. But really, I'm just kind of looking forward to, like I said, learning it and using it this season, kind of
Yeah.
seeing how it goes.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be same boat. Think it's gonna be great to test. I'm excited to
Mhm.
see the results. So I know you said you did it a little last year. How was
Mhm.
the results on that?
Dude, it was good. I told you guys, like my breakouts, my sleepers were like on point because
Okay.
everybody
Yeah.
was so high on. Oh, who was that? Elijah Moore, like the
Yeah.
Jets
Mhm.
receiver coming in, and I put out a red flag article. I was like, "Don't do it, man. This he's not gonna be good this year." Got a little bit of heat for it, but I mean, it
You
totally
sucked.
called him out, man.
Yeah.
He's not even on the team
All I know
anymore.
is I am probably in the bottom 10% of draft. Like my fantasy drafts are horrible. I'm one of the worst probably in the world. And I win a lot, but it's
Dude,
because of my
I hate
move.
like the grading you get after it. Like
Yeah,
I think I
Yeah.
draft like this great team, and then I look at it, I'm like a D plus. And then this guy's team that has like 7 quarterbacks, it's the A plus. And of course,
yeah,
the guy with the A plus wins it all every freaking time. Like they know
I
the
know.
grading, they know. And I'm like, how like what's wrong with my team?
I know.
They
I will
just know.
say I drafted Mahomes in the 9th round his first year, coming out of Kansas City. My whole thought process was like Alex Smith was good. They must know Mahomes is good if they're
Yeah.
great.
giving him yeah. Um and I remember my grade was like, "Did you lose a bet? Why would you take Patrick Mahomes in the 9th round?" Big middle finger to him because
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
a fucking beast.
Dude, I picked up Mahomes like as a free agent that year, and then the very next year I picked up Lamar Jackson as a free agent, and that was his
Did you
crazy
really?
year. Back to back years, dude.
In Dynasty or
No, of course this had to be
oh,
redraft.
dude, Dynasty that would have been
I've been
awesome.
cold. I was hot those 2 years, but I cooled off.
Yeah. That's always nice when that happens.
Jalen Hurts though, I did have Jalen Hurts this year. I predicted it.
There you go.
Hurts was a great snag.
Yeah, yeah,
One of my best seasons I've had. I think I was undefeated like 10 weeks in, and I picked up Deshaun Watson his rookie year. I
nice.
was just riding him out. He was getting 50 points a game. And then I'm sitting in my college accounting class, and my buddy texts me and just says like, "Oh no, Deshaun," or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, he's just fucking with me." He's like, "Nope, just tore his ACL in practice." I left
Oh,
class immediately. I was like, "Oh my god." I had no other quarterback. Just, I think I still managed to do okay, but devastating.
Fantasy's brutal, dude.
Mm,
it really is. When you have a good team, there's no better feeling though. Like just
yeah,
you don't even care who went or you're starting. You're just like, I'm just gonna smoke whoever. Like it's the
Yeah,
greatest thing ever. Your bench players are scoring 20 points too. Like, oh, those are one and few to come between. But that's not the saying. But um, but God, is that a great feeling? That was
oh, it
like
is.
3 years ago for me, and it was the best feeling in the world.
I think one of the best feelings in fantasy is when your opponent has like 3 guys on Thursday night football and they got like 14 points combined. You're just like,
yeah,
there it is. I
yeah,
won.
That's why I
yeah.
always hate playing guys like on the Thursday night, just because like if they have a terrible game, you're screwed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do the same. Even though it makes no sense because like they're still going to play a game
Yeah.
regardless of what night they play, but I do the same thing. I'm like, I can't play 3 guys on Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, looking at our the magazine that we're making. We're making a draft guide for you guys. Wyatt, I don't want to brag on it. I want to let you take it over. Is it worth it? How does it look so far?
I've looked through it and I think there's a lot of valuable stuff in it. Every time, and I think I'm pretty, football savvy. I played, I coach. I feel like I can get a good read on these guys. And then come draft time, I'm just like, hours before I'm scrambling to try to find all this data. I think it's just a great thing to have. It's just a one-stop shop. You can get, mock drafts, you can get all this different data. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to contributing to it. But yeah, like every single year I get that, the day or two before the draft where I'm in panic mode, trying to figure out, all these different, it's a nightmare. So I like it how I think it has everything you need. Obviously it's never bad to have more than one source, but it has like everything you need. And I think that's going to be extremely valuable to me. And I think to a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys, public, I'm sorry, you guys can't see it yet until it's done. But the system that we just went over, that is on every single player. So we were talking about how there's all those numbers, Ethan. I was telling you there's those websites. I'll try to get those out to you guys when we get a little bit closer. But you guys will be coming up with the grading system with your numbers. And so you guys will get to kind of see firsthand for yourself anybody that's standing out, anybody that seems like they're falling behind the rest of the class. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man.
I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, my bar is so low with my previous drafts. So this is, it's not saying much, but I can already feel this is going to get me at least my best draft.
Yeah, it is, man. It can't not.
It can't. You should see some of my teams. It's dog shit. I don't know how it's so bad. I overthink things.
Yeah. Well, we're going to try to help you with that.
Yeah.
We need to do... Sorry, you go, man.
No, I'll keep going.
We're going to do like a consensus ranking. So like you guys will do all your quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and then we'll put them all together. And then we'll do kind of like a composite grade. I think I was tweaking them a little bit. Some of the players will still have a consensus ranking and then overall ranking. But for like the receivers or running backs, they're going to have their standard ranking and PPR ranking. So they're going to be a little different. So just updated those draft stickers. Updated the rookie price check. If you look at towards like the back of the back of the project. So now it's not just only Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry for every single picture. We actually have a couple of the rookies are all in there now. And we have a dynasty section, the dynasty deep dive. Got that completely done. Got that totally written up, ready to go. All the rest of it, it's just waiting for us to do the work. When do we want to when do we think we'll have that out? When do we want to have it out?
Well, I think teams start drafting like early August.
Yeah.
Maybe mid-August.
Yeah, so probably shoot for first day 2 or 3 in August would be my guess.
Okay. I was going to say,
I know
I didn't want to do any
OTSs are what? June, July?
Yeah.
And they're still, and then final rosters aren't even done until August. So, yeah, I think beginning of August would be a good aiming point, maybe midway August.
And then we could always tweak if things happen.
Right.
But yeah, just to have... I'm not one of those crazy leagues that drafts in August. I always wait till after preseason, but that's just me.
Dude, we are first week of July last week of July and first week of August this year.
That's when you draft?
Because of the wife, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I'm not drafted from the hospital room, man. You need to move those bad boys up. Like, all right.
That's fair.
And fair. I'm not excited about it.
Just don't pray for injuries.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of practice between then and game time.
I'm horrified, dude. I think I'm just like redraft this year. Just see you later, man. I'm giving it. I'm up on it. So we'll get that. We'll get started working on that here coming up. But anything else you guys want to address with the people before we end the live?
Yeah, I just submitted. You might have seen my head down a little bit. I just submitted a first scorer bet in the hockey game tonight, plus 1,700. So my fiance's last name is Johnston, and my first name is Wyatt. So we're taking Wyatt Johnston, first goal scorer for the Stars, plus 1,700.
Dude.
I'm also taking my wife's legal name once I get married, so I will be Wyatt Johnston. I'm joking. I'd rather chop off my balls, but
I was like, I'm laughing at that, but is he serious?
I know. I was
it sounds a whole lot better than my last name. But yeah, I wouldn't be a man if I did that. So
yeah,
she doesn't. Is she okay being Mrs. Betts?
Yeah, she's Mrs. Best Bets.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Mrs. Betts, it's hilarious.
We got a comment from Snowman Multimedia too, which I believe, if you're still on here, man, you and me are getting together tomorrow. He says, hey, greetings from Indiana. He loves the setup, wants it for his program. So we're gonna go over there, hopefully talk some sports, talk some of this, man. Some of the setup.
Is that live or is that just gonna be posted?
Snowman, if you're watching, let us know. Comment to us.
Because if it's live, I'm gonna tune in. If it's not, I'll watch it whenever it gets public.
Dude, yep. I've been on
live.
It's a live. Oh,
nice.
Now I'm nervous. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. We're doing it live. Let's see. I get off work. I'm usually home by 5. Is there a time that you want me to get on?
Central time.
Yep.
Central time, yeah.
Oh, he's central, isn't he?
Depends on which part of Indiana, I think.
You Missouri boys, you Indiana boys. Different breed over there. I will say Eastern time is terrible in the playoffs. Like I'm really gonna stay up to watch the Oilers play till 1 a.m. I don't think so.
I know.
Also, Ben, what happened? Your Oilers lost.
Shut the hell up. Dude, I'm upset, dude. I can't believe that.
Dude, Vegas plus 170 money line last night was too easy.
Did you? Ooh. Did you take them?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's
too easy, man. Everyone was on the Oilers. They can't do anything defensively. They're terrible.
I was on the Oilers before the playoffs even started, so I couldn't hop off them then. If Dallas loses tonight, I'm done with hockey the rest of the year.
Snowman's Eastern time too.
Is he?
Ben, you might just have to change your clocks.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm gonna have to. 7 p.m. Central Time. Okay. On Snowman Multimedia. Come see me, the GM rep, on Snowman Multimedia live at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Nice.
That would be, I believe, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Correct.
You're with it.
Yeah, there we go, man.
All right, I'll be tuning in for sure. You don't want me in those comments, but I'll be in there.
You get a little bit of payback for when I get on your TikToks.
So wait, I gotta go back to hockey. Am I about to win this bracket if Dallas makes it? Now that the Oilers lost?
My Oilers are out. I think I had Oilers versus Dallas.
Yeah, I had the Avs.
I had the Bruins in the Stanley Cup, though.
Oh, okay.
So my Eastern sucks ass.
Maybe. Also, why is this the last time we see you in this room?
So, I was hoping to, but I went to go set up the Wi-Fi today at my new place, and they give you like the router. I can't find like not the router, but like the actual thing that has the internet. I can't find it. I don't know where it is in my building. They said it's like there, so I've been looking every closet, every cranny. I've been looking outside in the stairway. I have no idea where that thing is.
Huh.
So
Huh.
Might
So
have to make
no
a phone
internet
call.
at the new place.
Yeah. Just hotspot. I'm sure my mom's going to enjoy that phone bill. And yes, I'm 27. My mom still pays my cell phone. Frick off. It's the family plan. It makes sense to stay on.
I'll one up
Yes.
you. I'm 28 and my mom still pays mine. So same. We still have the Sprint Unlimited plan from like 2008. I get unlimited everything for like $20. I don't know how much it is. I don't pay it.
Well, Ethan, I will lateral you. I'm 28 and I also don't pay it. So this is a no cell phone paying gang over here. It's
The
$20.
family
She was
plan was
Sprint.
just wait,
Hey,
what?
that's what happens when you do podcasts for a living and you don't make a dime off of it. You don't pay your own phone bill.
That's so true.
Thanks, Mama Bees.
Yeah, that
Yes.
family plan was a lifesaver for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even make sense to knock me off. I have to stay on. I have to stay on until forever.
Yeah. I mean, we have never talked about me switching off of their plan, so
No.
hope she's not
Sounds like
watching this. Hi, Mom. Thanks for your cell phone plan.
We
All right,
are.
I'm currently in 4th place in hockey. What is this monstrosity? Oh,
Oh,
my
no.
God.
Who's winning?
Not you, Ben. You and me,
Damn.
buddy.
Am I in
We're in
last
the
place?
cellar.
Yeah.
Well,
Figured.
we're tied. I think I'm ahead of you because my name comes before yours alphabetically. So yes, you're in last place.
Damn.
Yeah, no, not doing too well. That's all right.
You're doing well in the NBA though. If the Lakers win, man.
Yeah, if the Lakers do well. If Dallas wins tonight, I might jump. But if you have Dallas too, then you'll jump. I don't know. I'll have to go see everyone's thing. But
Alphabetically, there's nothing I can do.
nothing. Next year, I'm just making my name like AAA.
Yeah, exactly.
To break any tiebreakers.
All right. Anything else you guys have for today's live?
I do not. Go Wyatt Johnston.
Go Wyatt Johnston.
Go Wyatt Johnston. Go Stars. Need the Stars.
Stars would be lovely. I also did 4-2 correct score. That would be lovely as well.
Okay.
So I did Stars 60-minute line as well, and second period over 1.5.
Okay.
We're all in on them.
Yep. And
Watch
we're pivoting my play to
2-1 Kraken.
4-2
Yeah.
makes it real nice.
Yeah. I also took the over at 5.5 now too.
Okay.
Love it.
Minus 120.
We were 6-3 on Thursday. So we're beating up.
We're
doing
close.
pretty well.
We're teetering.
We are.
We're already 1-0 on the daily locks.
Perfect.
Nice.
Okay. Well,
And we have a killer thumbnail for that too.
yeah, me and Ethan are unfriending Wyatt on Facebook because he has too much power.
Those are two great ones. First of all, the one I just did looks like the Twins mascot sitting in your lap. And then, Ben, you just look like you just kind of resemble Zach Galifianakis a little bit.
Oh, who made that reference earlier?
So it was too good not to pass up on that poker scene or the blackjack scene in The Hangover. I don't know what tomorrow will hold. Maybe I'll go into my own Facebook and see what pictures I can do of myself.
We'll have to see.
Instagram's next, so.
Oh, no. Oh. Yeah, I got some not good ones on Instagram. Jesus.
Luckily, I went through and deleted a lot of that shit, but
yeah, I might need to do that.
Wyatt's still wondering why his cat is so fat.
He's still kicking, man.
I love it. I'm such a cat guy.
16.
If you haven't seen the Monday conversation videos, you got to go back and watch those. Those are some grade A content.
I know. I kind of wish we posted those now to see how they would do.
I know.
Maybe we'll have to do another something like that coming up.
Yeah.
Also, if you have any other ideas of stuff you want us to cover, please let us know.
Yes.
Because it's coming, and I know you don't want just baseball, so we're all ears. If you want some lacrosse, sure, we'll attempt. F1, IndyCar, NASCAR, we'll figure something
Underwater basket weaving.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Horse racing, I guess, is a massive clientele.
Yes.
We've all been living under a rock while everyone else is just betting horses.
Yeah, we're such novices.
All right, well, we're gonna get out of here, guys. Thanks for joining in with us. Everybody that commented, watched, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you're subscribed. Follow us on all social medias. We post a bunch of different types of content across all the platforms, so make sure you're following us everywhere. And guys, we'll see you in the next episode. Peace, guys.
Go Stars.
See you guys.